welcome along to another edition of the Sunday Night Show here from Carnival Presbyterian Church in East Belfast. Very proud to welcome to the programme our newly appointed Director of Music, Shirley Beggs, who's going to be telling us a little bit about her life and work that she does, and, well, anything that we can throw in between. So whatever you're doing this Sunday evening, we ask you just to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let us do all the work. Shirley, you're very welcome along to the Sunday Night Show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yes. Bit nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. No need to be nervous. You're amongst friends. Shirley, I sort of start off with all my guests and sort of ask, what life was like for you growing up. I detect that's not a Northern Ireland accent, by the way.
No, Scotland. No, I was born in Scotland. I was born in a village called Errol, which is sort of halfway between Perth and Dundee. So it's over on the northeast side, with my twin sister Margie, and my mum and dad, and brought up in the village all through childhood until I moved over here.
And what would school days have been like? Did you fond memories of
Yeah,
that?
we went to a local village, so primary 1 to 7 in Errol Primary, and then you automatically then go up to the nearest high school, which was up in Perth, so we had to travel. We were up every morning, sort of getting the bus about 7:20 in the morning, up to Perth, and not getting home again till maybe about 4:30 that afternoon. Yeah. So it was a long day.
Yeah.
It was a long day one, but they were enjoyable days.
Now, how did you come to arrive here in Northern Ireland? Was it the heart of a good man?
It was.
Oh, right, okay. Tell us a wee bit about that. How did you meet?
I went on holiday, my first girls' holiday, to Corfu, and we met up with about eight boys from Belfast,
right,
and got to know them all and got friends with them all. And then when we went home, then they were over there actually working for about 6 weeks on a building site, believe it or not. So when I did go home, I said to my mum, "Oh, by the way, I've got a pen pal from Belfast." Didn't go down too well at first.
Right, okay. Yeah. Okay.
But that's how we met. So then after that, Stephen came over to Scotland to see us, and then I would come over here. So for about 3 years we were backwards and forwards until after 3 years we got engaged, and then I came over.
Right.
So, and then stayed with his mum and dad for a year until we got a place of our own, and then we went back to Scotland to get married.
Okay, so you've done a bit of...
Yeah, backwards and forwards, yeah.
Okay. And what about children? Do you have children?
Yes, I've got Samantha, she's 26 now, and Stuart, who's 22.
Brilliant. So
still at home, can't get rid of them. Yeah.
Right, well, the day will come, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Most viewers will know you from church here, and the fact that you play very well and lead the services and music. But what do you actually do outside of the church for work?
Well, outside now, I am a classroom assistant in Dundela Infants Primary School. But when I first moved over, I was in insurance, worked in insurance for a long time, in a company called MPI, which is no longer here. And then after that, I was actually expecting Stuart then. We were all paid off. So then once Stuart was born, I became a registered childminder until Stuart was in primary school, and then I moved into Dundela Infants.
Right. So obviously you enjoy what
yes,
you do.
I love
I'm sure
it.
you find it at times a bit on the challenging side.
Oh, very much so. And as each year goes by, it gets a little harder.
Sure.
But no, I still love working with the children. I'm in P1.
Right.
So I've been in P1 for about 18 years now.
My
19
goodness.
years actually, yeah.
Right.
So I love it.
Yeah. I'm sure you get asked all sorts of questions from the that can be very funny, and you just don't know what
Oh
they're going
yes,
to come out
and
with.
they can tell you things that their mummy and daddy have said, and you're going, if only they knew you were telling us, you know.
Yes, I I know. I'm sure they would have a pretty red
I know,
face.
I know.
So, how did you get involved here in Carnival to begin with?
When I first moved over, I sort of went, Stephen's mum and dad weren't really churchgoers at that point. So I sort of went to different churches with some of his relations, some of his aunts and uncles would go to church. But I didn't really find one that I sort of fitted in, I suppose in those days I was actually quite quiet.
You should strike me as a quiet type now, I have to be honest.
So I did find it hard. But once we got our house I lived just at the bottom of Carnival Road, the church here, then I thought, I'll maybe give it a wee go. So I came up, and when I did come up, I found there was a lot of people very welcoming, and very friendly. And so when I had my family, it was the church to go to, really, because they were all so friendly and welcoming. So,
and how long?
And that, well, I have been here now, let me think, I suppose, well, Samantha's 26. I had them both christened here, so it must be about 26 years or more. Yeah. So it's a long time.
Yeah, very long
but
time.
I wouldn't move.
Yeah. No. So, when did you start playing? When did you start playing music?
Well, my mum's side of the family are very musical. So when my gran died, they had a piano. So my mum brought the piano down to our house in the village. So I think we were about 7 when we first started going for lessons. So we went for lessons from 7 years old right up until we left school at 18. Also played the trumpet in school too. For 6 years, played in the wind bands.
Tom will be worried.
No, he wouldn't. No, trust me, he wouldn't.
Oh, right, okay.
I haven't played the trumpet still in Errol, so
Right.
didn't bring that one over with me.
Okay. So you've, well, all that playing has paid off. You've been recently appointed as musical director here at Carnival. Should you ever see that coming?
No.
You know.
No, I was quite happy to sit behind the other keyboard and just hide behind that, So it took a wee bit of convincing, I think, to bulk up the courage and think, maybe I can try it,
Absolutely.
But I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I'm enjoying it, yeah. A wee bit challenging at first when you think, oh my goodness, I have to pick the music and I have to,
Yes.
I suppose it's a bit easier in a way at the moment because with lockdown there's no choir, so I suppose it is a wee bit easier at the moment. It will get more challenging.
Time goes on.
Yeah.
So, just moving away from all of that for a second, on a personal level, what does faith mean to you?
It means a lot because I use it every day. It's in everything I do. And even back in Errol, it was a big thing throughout the family. Mum and dad went to church. Well, mum was actually an Episcopalian, but my dad was Presbyterian Church of Scotland. So we automatically then went to the local kirk, as we call them over there,
right, okay.
Errol Parish. So even being brought up, I was at Sunday school, Bible class, youth fellowship, and then I became a Sunday school teacher, and then I played in Perth Prison, the organ, and for both services, Catholic and Protestant, Perth Prison for quite a few years as well. And then I was still a Sunday school teacher until I moved over here. And then even over here, I became a Sunday school teacher here for a while as well. So it's just something that's always been there. Yeah.
It's funny how God uses us for different things, isn't it? Really, things that for example, musical director.
Mm-hmm.
Probably never seen that coming.
No.
But yet here you are.
I know.
And
I know.
you're doing it. And doing it well.
Thank you.
I want to just move to something that's maybe a wee bit more difficult for you to talk about, but I hope you can share some of it with us. I know around 5 years ago you went through a particularly hard time when you were diagnosed with an illness then.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a wee bit about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just well, I was lucky in a way. I went for my first screening for breast cancer, and in the first screening they actually picked it up. So I'm lucky in a way that it was caught very early. So it was just one of those things that I was told 2 days before Christmas Day, 23rd of December, and I'll never forget it, that, yeah, that it was breast cancer. But it didn't really, well, it was hard at first to take in, but it didn't really get me down that much, you know. I'm the type of person that will say, well, what will be, you know, and just to get on with it really, and just take every day as it comes. But it was hard. It was, you know, they always say it's hard for the person who's going through it, but I think sometimes it's harder for the family around you to see you having to go through what you have to go through, you know, the chemo and the radiotherapy, and losing the hair is quite a big thing. But my family kept me going because they're all very great sense of humour.
Right.
You know, so I could be sitting like Kojak one night, and you know, Stuart would come down and tap me on the head, you know, and silly things like that, just to keep your spirits up. Yes. So they never let me get too down. If I did have a wee moment, I'd go up to the bathroom, lock myself in the bathroom, and have a wee moment to myself. But no, and I just felt, you know, God's there, so you know, He's given you that for a reason. He thinks you're strong enough to cope with it. So I just keep thinking, you know, as I do, what will be, and everything really.
Yeah. So when did you get the all clear? When did things?
Well, after the operation and I went through the radio and the chemo, then they said that I had the all clear. So I've been clear now 5 years in January there. So that's quite a milestone, I think. You know,
I think everybody thinks once they hear that word, you know, people say, "Oh, the big C."
I know. I think it's a lot of mind over matter too. If you can keep yourself upbeat and positive, that's a big help. You know, if you sort of think about it too much, it would, you know, if you become too low, that's when it's. Yeah. I think it gets you more, you know. Yeah. Whereas you're better keeping it positive outlook.
Absolutely, but there's great advancement in medicine.
Oh, there is. Yeah, you know, definitely.
And we have to give thanks to God for that as well.
Yeah.
So, what would you say would have been the most positive thing that kept you going through that time? Would it have been a mixture of family and faith and church life?
It would have been, yes, it would have been. It would have been family and having the faith that I had, knowing that, you know, when they tell you you've got, you know, it's clear and this is only what they call the mopping up process, you know, you keep that in your head and that's what keeps you going, you know, and the family, especially the family around you, you know, definitely keep you going, make you want to keep going. But faith as well has a lot to do with it. Yeah. You know.
I'm sure you had a lot of prayer around that time as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And what would you say to maybe somebody that's watching this program that's maybe going through a difficult time or something like what you went through yourself those years ago? What would you say to them to try and maybe give them a little bit of hope, or you don't know who's going to be watching?
I know, just to stay positive, keep your trust in God, and just if there's anybody that they can talk to, speak about it. If anybody's there to listen, just don't hold it all in. Try and be able to talk about it and get help that way. But the main thing is keep positive.
Now, moving back to sort of modern times, if you like, the coronavirus outbreak, and the way the world is at the moment, how has that sort of affected you, or has it affected your life in a big way?
It hasn't affected my life in a big way. I think it's more work. I felt for the children, and I do feel for the parents, because it's affected them in such a big way, having to go to remote learning. But with myself and my own home life, it hasn't really affected me that much. Yes, I wasn't working, but I was still sort of doing bits and pieces from home. My husband was still working, my son was still working, my daughter has been furloughed. It's been harder, I think, for the younger ones. I've noticed it with my daughter. It's been tough not being able to go out and see their friends, and especially when she's not working.
Yes.
If they were all out still getting to see people in work, it would be slightly easier for them.
Absolutely.
But
we never seen this coming.
No. I do feel too. My mum is stuck in Scotland. So she hasn't been over for 2 years now, and that's really hard.
I'm sure.
Hopefully
she'll get over.
Well, I'm hoping
soon.
maybe summer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. You never know. You never know.
Nice to see her again.
I know.
After that amount of time. Now, sort of thinking on pre-coronavirus days, what makes Shirley Beggs tick? What does Shirley like to do? What hobbies, or maybe what interests?
Interests. Well, I've got a dog that keeps me busy, Poppy.
Brilliant.
I like getting out. I love getting out for walks, and getting fresh air. I like reading.
Right.
Socialising with my friends when I can do. I'm playing the piano sometimes, which I don't do very often, I have to say.
Okay.
But when I do it, if I get peace to do it, if there's nobody in the house, then I enjoy it. Yeah. But no, that would be it.
Be about it. I think that's plenty.
I think it's enough to keep you going anyway,
isn't it? Occupied. Yeah, absolutely. Now, being a musical director in the church, obviously you have an interest in music. Now, outside of church music, what other music do you really enjoy? Or who do you enjoy?
I do like the. I'm a bit of a rock chick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do like my rock music.
You would never restrict me as a rock sort of person.
No, I do enjoy that. I love Bon Jovi and all that. Yeah, I love all that sort of music. But I do have a variety. I have to say, I do like most things. But that was my that was what I sort of grew up with. Was
Have you ever been to any of their concerts?
No, I haven't. I'd love to see Bon Jovi in concert, but. I think the first ever concert I went to was years and years ago, and it was Status Quo, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
And it was supposed to be their last ever concert in Dundee, Caird Hall. Of course, it wasn't their last concert. But it was supposed to be. So that was the first concert I ever went to. But Bryan Adams, I do like Bryan Adams. I went to see him in Belfast.
It was him that sang that, wasn't it?
But the best part of his concert was at the end when he came on and he just played the acoustic guitar and sang on his own with nobody else, and he was really good.
Do you find that the artists that you maybe go to see in concert, that they're just as good live as what they are actually recorded?
Yes.
That's it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the ones I've been to anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen, we went to see him. He was excellent.
Okay.
Hmm.
What about country music? Do you like it? If you
I
don't, we'll
do,
not hold it
yes,
against you
I
much.
do, yes, I do quite like a wee bit of country.
Right, okay. Who do you like?
Well, it was
Is
Garth Brooks started
right,
me
okay.
off, and yeah, but it's not something I haven't bought any.
Albums or anything?
No, but I do like listening to some of it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, we've got a little quick round
Okay.
questions. And we're going to ask you to choose one or the other.
Right.
And it's quite quick, so you'll not have much time
To think.
to think about it. So, dog or cat?
Dog.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
While walking, music or podcasts?
Music.
Big party or small gathering? That's quite appropriate for
Big
for the
partying,
moment.
probably.
Yeah, you probably have a big party when everything's back to some sort of form of normality. Online shopping or shopping in store?
Shopping in store.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Online church or in
No,
person?
in person.
Okay. This is going to be a bit of a deep question.
Okay.
Something that we're kind of asking all our guests, really. Looking back all over your own life, and maybe looking at the lives of others, what would you say is the meaning of life?
Okay. Really just to be the best person that you can, the kindest person. If you have any goals, to try and reach them. But just really to be kind, and I would try and bring up the family to be in the same sort of way, to look after each other and look out for other people, and make the most of your life.
Shirley Beggs, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Coming in and joining us in our little studio, which I'm sure you'll agree is fantastic.
No, thank you very much.
No, thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you a little bit better.
Getting to know a wee bit more.
Talking to you, so thanks very much indeed.
All right, thank you.
Well, folks, that just about brings us to the end of another edition of the Sunday Night Show. Want to thank you for being there. Hope that you've enjoyed it as much as we have, and hope that you know Shirley a little bit better yourself. Also want to thank Tim and Johnny for their help in the production of these programs and in the direction of it as well. So thank you very much. And from all of us here on the Sunday Night Show, from myself, Shirley, Johnny and Tim, it's good night. God bless.